Have you ever felt trapped in your own thoughts, stuck between the past and the future, caught in a whirlwind of worries and exhaustion? But what if I told you that peace can be found right in the middle of that storm? Join me on a journey to discover the true meaning of inner peace, not somewhere far away, but deep within your own soul. Once upon a time, in a small village nestled among the rolling hills, there lived a young man named Steve Jobs. Although he lived in a peaceful place, Steve always felt uneasy. His mind was constantly racing, filled with thoughts about the past and anxieties about the future. He could never find a sense of calm within himself. One day, Steve heard about a renowned Zen master who lived atop a distant mountain. It was said that the master possessed the secret to inner peace and tranquility. Driven by a deep desire for answers, Steve decided to set out on a journey, leaving everything behind to climb the mountain. After many exhausting days, Steve finally reached the top. There, he found the Zen master sitting in serene meditation, eyes closed, as if he were one with the universe. Steve approached, bowed respectfully, and said, "Master, I have come seeking your guidance. My mind is restless, and I yearn for peace. Can you teach me how to empty my mind?" The Zen master opened his eyes, smiling gently, and replied, "You wish to empty your mind? Very well, I shall teach you." The Zen master led Steve to a courtyard, where a large stone basin full of water stood beside a small bowl. The master dipped a ladle into the basin and poured water into the small bowl. "Your task," the master said, "is to transfer all the water from this basin into the smaller bowl without spilling a single drop." Steve stared at the challenge before him, feeling perplexed. How could he transfer all the water into such a small bowl? But, despite his confusion, Steve began the task. Hour after hour, he carefully scooped water from the basin and poured it into the bowl. But no matter how hard he tried, the basin remained full. His mind grew more frustrated and restless. The Zen master watched Steve struggle with compassion. Then he gently placed a hand on Steve's shoulder. "You are trying so hard to empty the basin," the master said softly, "but you have forgotten the most important step. Before you can empty the basin, you must first empty your mind." Steve looked at the master, confused. "Master, how do I empty my mind?" The master smiled warmly and said, "Let go of your worries, your fears, and your attachments. Focus solely on the task at hand. Be fully present in this moment, and the rest will follow." Steve took a deep breath and released his frustration. He stopped forcing the process, and instead focused on each scoop of water, savoring the sound and the sensation of each movement. Gradually, he entered a state of flow. His mind became clear, and his actions felt effortless. As Steve emptied his mind, something miraculous happened. The basin seemed to respond to his newfound calm. With each scoop, the water flowed effortlessly into the smaller bowl, and the basin gradually emptied. Finally, Steve poured the last drop of water into the small bowl. He looked at the Zen master in awe and gratitude. The master smiled and said, "You see, Steve, when you empty your mind, you allow the universe to flow through you. You become one with the task, and everything falls into place naturally." Steve realized that the peace and clarity he had been searching for had always been within him. From that day forward, he carried the wisdom of the Zen master in his heart, not just in his actions, but in every moment of his life. Sometimes, peace isn't something we seek outside. It's the journey we take to return to ourselves. Remember, when the mind is empty, everything else falls into place. If this story resonated with you, take a moment to reflect. What are the thoughts that have been cluttering your mind? Share your experiences in the comments below. I'd love to hear how you find peace in your daily life. And don't forget to hit the like button if you found value in this video. It really helps to support the channel. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you won't miss more inspiring stories and insights on how to live a more peaceful, fulfilling life. Together, we can continue this journey of self-discovery.